We are gearing up for Colorado's primary. In 1 week, we will know which Republican will take on Democratic incumbent Jared Polis in November. Political specialist Sean Boyd sat down with candidate Heidi Ganahl yesterday. She's a CU regent, an author, and founder of one of the largest pet care franchises in the world, along with several nonprofits. Well, tonight, we hear from Greg Lopez, who has served as mayor of Parker, president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and director of the Small Business Administration. Here's Sean.
You can't help but smile when you walk into Greg Lopez's campaign office, an old tattoo parlor decorated with patriotic table toppers. Big difference between this office and office of governor. Lopez isn't worried.
People right now are looking for a voice. They're looking for a candidate that truly understands the challenges that they face every single day,
including $5 a gallon gas.
I want to work with our oil and gas industry to see how we can produce our own gas and keep it here in Colorado.
How is unclear. Suncor is the only refinery in the state, and the company says 95% of its product already stays here. Many of Lopez's plans are a work in progress, like affordable housing.
And the question I'm having from a lot of builders and developers is, Greg, you know what? It costs me the same to build a bigger home than a smaller home as it pertains to profit. And we need to reevaluate that logic, because just because you can make the profit doesn't mean you should make the profit.
Then there's taxes. He wants to eliminate sales tax for the next 4 to 5 years. Last year, it generated about $3.5 billion, about a third of the general fund.
Where do you make up that money?
We look at the efficiencies. We look at the programs themselves. We look at whether they're actually helping.
He'd also like to eliminate all fees. Many of his plans will need legislative action, like vouchers for schools and a return of qualified immunity for police. He'd also like to revisit the red flag gun law. As for climate change,
it happens every day.
He's open to discussing ways to protect the environment, but says a law overhauling oil and gas regulations ignores the will of voters who shot down a ballot measure to increase setbacks.
I think we deserve a governor that understands when the people speak, we need to be respectful of their positions.
Yet Lopez has suggested using an electoral college system for statewide elections.
Colorado voted to go with national popular vote, though.
I don't think the people that voted for that truly understand what they were voting for.
He says people, including many doctors, are also confused when they insist some abortions are necessary to save a mother's life.
Abortion to me is a purposeful intent to end life, not trying to save life. There's a totally different concept on that. If you lose a life when you're trying to save a life, then that's a conscious decision that people should make.
His take on the 2020 election also nuanced. He has previously said President Trump won.
Do you believe the election was stolen?
You know, it's kind of hard to tell because I live in Colorado. I don't live in the other states. But I think there's enough evidence that we can all say, you know what, there seems to be some form of shenanigans going on.
Would you vote for President Trump if he runs in 2024?
Well, I'm always voting for those that I truly believe are under the right mindset to make sure the right decisions.
Is he?
We'll have to find out to see how he campaigns.
For now, he's focused on his own campaign. One of us for all of us, his slogan.
I'm going to be the governor for those that vote for me and those that don't vote for me.
Lopez has had some legal troubles that he's been open about. He settled a federal case involving influence peddling, saying he didn't know the rule he was accused of violating. He was also arrested for domestic violence 30 years ago and for drunk driving. He said everyone makes mistakes and he's learned from his. If you'd like to see my story with Heidi Ganahl, go to cbsdenver.com. Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.